welcome to my first mini lesson on vibrato. I'm going to be giving a series of mini lessons covering a broad amount of topics regarding playing the violin and the viola. So today's topic is vibrato. A lot of people want to know about vibrato. So let's get down to business. Why do we vibrate? That's the first thing a lot of people ask me, especially my intermediate students. And there's a couple reasons. The first reason is for resonance. We want the pitch to last as long as possible, to send out into space without working that hard. So when you add vibrato to a note, it adds sound waves to the note, thus sending it out and spins the sound, as a lot of people say. So another reason is singers use vibrato, and we are trying to emulate singers in our playing. Vibrato is used as an expressive tool. Whether you want to use fast vibrato or slower vibrato, you can get your point across better when you use vibrato. Not to mention, it just sounds really pretty to me. That's why I like to use it. So what is it? Vibrato is the bending of the pitch and then coming back to the original note in which you start on. So it's like this. In slow motion. That's how it works. So it starts in the finger joint, no matter what kind of vibrato you use. There's wrist vibrato, in which you just kind of rock back like so. Or arm vibrato, which works from the elbow joint, like so. When you pull your whole arm back, and that's what I tend to use, is arm vibrato. So you're just bending the pitch back down the string. I think some people start going side to side like that, and that's not very effective. It has nothing to do with your string. So all it is you're rolling this joint so that your finger starts on the pitch and then rolls back to bend the pitch and then goes right back up to that same spot. So whether you're using wrist or arm vibrato, you come back to the same point on your finger. And that'll keep you from sliding up your instrument as you're playing. So that brings me to my next point. You want to try this in third position. So that goes, if you're in first position, you put your first finger where your third finger would go. So I'm going to slide up here and go very slowly with my first finger. In fact, I tend to use a metronome to do this. So these exercises will help you gain some control over how fast or slow you want your vibrato to be so that you can decide what kind of vibrato you want to use. And I use this as a warm-up to play every day, actually. So let's just start with our first finger in third position. Now, I'm resting my hand against the rib of the instrument, kind of as a contact point to return to. So start every click with a bending of the pitch. And then I double time it. So 1 and 2 and then I go into triplets. So that's 3 bends, 3 notes in 1 click. And then you can always slow your metronome down. You know, I totally think it's best to start slower if that's what you have to do and work your way up your metronome. That's probably the best way to practice this. So I'm going to go on to the second finger, and I would do every click, and then I would do 2 clicks, and then, or 2 bends per click, and then 3 bends per click. And now I'm into 16th notes, which is 4 bends per click. Started off too fast there. But anyways, then I go into 6 bends per click. So it gets less wide as you quicken up your pace and your vibrato. And so from there, I just try to do it as fast as I can. Some people go to 8 clicks, or 8 bends per click, I mean. But I then just try to produce a good vibrato after 6. So this really warms up my vibrato, and it helps me practice slow vibrato and faster vibrato so that I can then decide what I want to do, not just what my body is telling me to do. And then I go on to do that whole thing with my third finger, and then my fourth finger. So as you you can see, I'm really starting on the tip and then rolling to a flat finger and then back to that tip. And then I'm using that rib on the side of my instrument to help out. Now I'm trying not to use my wrist when I do arm vibrato. Not like that. I try to keep my arm in one line and just use this bending of the knuckle, the first knuckle on your finger to get the sound that you want on the string. So that you're not just sliding up your instrument. You know, you want to stay centered, so make sure you're always coming back to the same pitch. You could even use a tuner in front of you if you wanted to try it that way. That would be a really helpful way to find out if you're really coming back to that same pitch or not. So then the last thing I wanted to say about this is you have a shelf in which you hold your violin or viola. So I hold mine right here, kind of at the base of my first finger where this knuckle comes out. And then it meets on the other side of my thumb. So I'm not way down here. I'm kind of holding it right here in a shelf. So the index finger sits on this side. See, there we go. So when I'm vibrating, that tends to come away from the instrument to give me room to move my hand. So if I'm glued down, that really limits my motion. Whereas if I let go of that, I can move and shift a lot more freely. So especially when you're vibrating, and sometimes I touch it, but I'm just not glued down so that I can come away from that point of contact in that shelf to really have more freedom in my movement. So hopefully this has helped you understand vibrato, why we use it, how it's used, and so that you can start implementing into this into your daily practice. It really does take doing it a little bit every day. I wouldn't do it a lot because it can get really frustrating. So just start trying. That's how you get better. Just a little bit every day, like 5 or 10 minutes max, I would say, in the beginning of trying to do vibrato. And then try to coordinate with your bow. That's a whole other ball game. But you just have to start doing it, and it just is another coordination for your body to learn with your instrument, and it is such a satisfying coordination to learn. You really can use it in your expressive toolbox of being a musician once you get a really good vibrato. So I started vibrating at about 2 or 3 years in. Beginners probably aren't ready to vibrate yet, but I would ask your teacher before you just dive in. But the first thing is to just start trying. You can figure it out. If I can do it, I used to not be able to know how to do it, and I figured it out, so you can do it too. So anyways, hopefully this has been really helpful. If there's anything I didn't address and you guys want me to make another video, I'd be more than happy to. So please leave some comments and let me know if you like or dislike this video, and I can make another one if need be. So anyways, please tune in for my other future mini lessons in which I'll be covering a broad topic of different things like intonation and rhythm and how to hold the instrument and how to hold the bow and all different kinds of things. So stay tuned. Please subscribe to the page, and I'm also going to be giving you guys some new music videos here coming soon. So please stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed your mini lesson on vibrato. Take care.